Good morning, folks. We are just doing a little bit of cleanup here, getting ready to make another pot of coffee. We've already been up for quite a while. Just enjoying the beautiful sunrise that we had from this location that we're in right now. We're on our way to Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm just outside of Austin, Nevada right at this moment in time. And my goal is I left a little bit early, like about a week early, so that way I could, do a little bit of exploring and, hang out in a couple places along the route. And that's what I want to be able to do today. I've been through Austin before, and I've always thought it looked like an interesting place, and so I thought it would be fun to stop here and spend a day exploring. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm just kind of waiting for things to warm up a little bit. It was absolutely gorgeous sunrise this morning, but very frigidly cold outside. So while we're waiting for it to warm up a little bit, we're going to make another pot of coffee, make some breakfast, and then we'll kind of get about our day. So for those that may have missed the post I made about the coffee, we have made a change to the label. I decided that since Wheeler has not been with us now for more than a year, it was time for an update. I wanted something that I felt really captured the spirit of the Primal Outdoors brand, and I think we accomplished that with this new label. What has not changed is the coffee. It's still very high quality, and we still have a light, medium, and dark roast. Check the website below to cross-reference your favorite flavor with the new label. Profits from the coffee sales help support the content creation on the Primal Outdoors channel. Well, we're just enjoying a cup of coffee and just enjoying this beautiful morning. The sun has come out now, and it's actually fairly comfortable and warm, especially standing here in the sun. So I think what I'm going to do is just take Daisy for a quick short walk, and then what we're going to do is take the van up past this little cattle gate here, and there's an area that I had checked out on some maps that I'm going to hike into. right, well, we've gotten to where we're gonna hike. I'm just gonna quickly change my boots here. I've got some new boots I'm gonna use for this hike. I bought these for a potential adventure I have going on come this spring, where I'll be dealing with a lot of water and snow and cold weather. So I figured this is a fairly short hike, would be a good one to just kind of work on getting them broke in. Good Daisy. All right, well, we're getting going. Daisy's not going to go with me on this particular hike. According to Guy, it's about 1.8 miles, which isn't that far, but she's just too old to go that far. So she's just going to stay laying on the bed with the fan on, and that way I don't have to worry about her getting crippled up on the trail. It's definitely been a while since I've done much hiking. I'm definitely going to have to work at getting myself in a little better shape before this adventure comes along in May. Well, this is what we came up here for. This canyon is called Cottonwood Canyon, and for obvious reasons, you got a bunch of cottonwoods in here. Now, admittedly, this would probably be a lot better if you came up here in the late spring, early summer, or I bet you it could be really spectacular if you came up here in the fall when the leaves are turning. It'd probably be really gorgeous. Right now, it's kind of like you're just looking at a bunch of dead trees. I did a little research on this canyon to find out whether or not these trees were indigenous to the area or were brought in by early settlers. I wasn't able to find out any concrete evidence proving either option, but my gut feeling on it is based on the terrain around them that they probably were brought in by the early settlers of this area. All right, well, we just got back to the van. We're all ready to go. I've got one more place I want to quickly check out before we settle in on a place to camp tonight. The location I wanted to check out was Stokes Castle. I heard about it from my brother-in-law, and even though I have been through the town a few times, I had never taken the time to go check it out. The castle was originally built by Anson Phelps Stokes, a mine developer, railroad magnate, and banker. Apparently, it was patterned after a tower Stokes had seen in Italy. The tower was started in 1896 using hand-hewn native granite and was finished in 1897. The first floor was the kitchen and dining room, and the second was the living room, and the third housed 2 bedrooms. The Stokes family only spent around 2 months altogether in 1897 to 1898. Then they sold it and the mine and never returned to the area. The castle sits right above the small town of Austin, Nevada, and is now administrated by the Austin Historical Society. If you're going through the little town of Austin, it's just right up the hill, and I definitely encourage you to go check it out. guys. Well, we have found ourselves in a very, very beautiful spot. We left Stokes Castle. It was a cool area, and they do have a big parking lot where you can camp if you want. But for me, it just wasn't where I wanted to spend the evening, even though it did have some absolutely stellar views of the valley and the mountains off in the distance. But I had spent a little bit of time researching the area on Google Earth and just kind of scanning the grounds and just seeing if I found anything that kind of popped out as interesting or unique. And when I was doing that, I found this old mine site and what looked to be some old structures on it. But I didn't know what the structures were or how old they were, but they are some really cool old rock structures. They're in pretty rough shape. The roofs are pretty caved in, but for the most part they are really cool. And then with this late afternoon sun hitting the rock faces, it's extremely beautiful to look at. There's also a couple others down lower which I may walk down tomorrow and go look at a little bit further, but as it is tonight, I'm feeling a little bit wiped out from today's activities, the hiking, and then, you know, kind of driving around a little bit, exploring. So I think I'm gonna call this video an end. We're gonna enjoy a little bit of Woodinville rye whiskey. You know, thanks to my friends David and Jen for introducing me to the Woodinville brand. I'm really enjoying it. Tonight, like I said, we're gonna try the rye, which is quite tasty. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of exploration. I wish I had more time. There's definitely so much more to see around this area, I can tell, but we need to get moving again tomorrow, get on down to the next leg of our trip, which should put us in Utah, and hopefully we can spend a little time or a day like today exploring some area around there. So anyhow, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave those down below, and we'll catch you guys again outside.